hello. It's Thursday, which is not the day I have been streaming on, but it is this week because we've been sick and I'm still a little sick. So, I'm only gonna go as long as I feel like it because I developed a slight cough here again today, even though I was doing just fine this morning. Vagabond says, are we sure it isn't Tuesday? Brandon couldn't be sure this morning. We have a subscription from Space Discosaurus. Welcome. That's an amazing username. I really love it. We have an 11-month resub from AidenC97. 11 months from Jolteron. 11 months from Harumi Kindle. Look at all these 11 months. 11 months from Aldo512. 8 months from Kirdelia. 11 months from Jamie2286. 11 months from Molad. 11 months from Seb the Original Pleb. 8 months from Action Cat, and 11 months from Armored Frog. Alan Gator says, 1 year coming up, right? That is wild. I can't believe that. That's wild. We have 11 months from the Slick Duke as well. Thank you. So I've been working on big canvas. It is very big. And I have a terrible glare, and I'm wondering, I know it's in focus because I focused the camera myself. Yeah, it's in focus. So I've really liked working on big canvas, and I've really liked working on this painting, but while I've been sick this week, I was like, I need something to do. So I've been working on actually the twin of this piece, because Brandon took 2 photos when he took this one, and the other one was just as cool, but I thought the composition of this worked really well, and it stuck with me. So I've been doing a little canvas of the twin photo. And I did it in a different style completely. So this is a Grisaille, and it's in black and white currently. So it's actually the twin. So imagine like the same colors of this, but instead of looking straight up, it's looking like a bit more down. So it's the twin of the other one. And I did this all in 2 days. I spent maybe 6 hours on it, and then I got this far. So this is a grisaille, which is the word for like, because gris is gray in French. So it's like grayness, and it's a underpainting technique where you paint it in grayscale, and then you layer color washes on top. And I've pushed it very, very far by doing mostly solid black and solid white. There's a little bit of gray in some areas, like there's a cloud here and a cloud here, and a little bit down here. But it's mostly in just solid black and white. Normally it's the entire value scale of gray. I didn't do that because I wanted to try this. We have a 7-month resub from C3 Jinmon. Sorry, I'm not thinking. I'm not all here today. And 7 months from Hero Chaos Chow. So it's the little painting, and because I don't feel like tapping a whole lot of leaves on today, because I am tired and still recovering, I'm going to work on this actually, and I'm going to be doing the first glazes on top of the grisaille, so you can kind of see how it transforms it from this into a little bit of color. It's not going to be like the final step to this painting. I won't be finishing that just in an hour or so, but you'll see how it transforms from this into something with a little bit of color. It is not unlike how they used to hand paint old photographs with color washes on top. In fact, it's quite similar. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So I'm going to move big canvas so I don't ruin big canvas. Because I'm not done with big canvas forever, just not today. So we're gonna switch these, and I'm gonna move this. Where I cannot ruin it. We have a 10-month resub from Jay Linebeck and a subscription from Immortal100. Welcome. Welcome in. We're gonna work on this grisaille. Hero Chaos Chow says, I have a question. You said you should use analogous colors on a multicolor pour painting, but the colors for the Splatoon one I want to make aren't analogous. They're fuchsia and teal and pink and black. Any suggestions? I think if you're doing that, you just have to be okay with whatever happens, especially when you're doing a pour, because It may make mud if you move it too much and they start to blend too much. Sometimes they kind of like don't mix, they kind of just stay separate. So you kind of just have to be okay with what happens when you do that, because you don't have a lot of control on a pour painting regardless. And there's not really a way to determine it except doing a couple and then picking your favorite. Jay Linebeck says, did you watch the Rift Tracks Golden Corral trailer? I did. It was like watching the world's weirdest vlog. It was like different worlds of mine colliding. It was very strange to watch. I enjoyed it. It was just very strange. All right. I thought about this before I started this stream. What I'm going to be doing. LED Mirror Knight says, hope you're doing good. I'm mostly doing good. I'm recovering. I thought I was doing real good this morning, and then I was kind of surprised that I wasn't. Because I got a little bit of cough, and I got tired this evening. But I'm okay. Maybe it's just because I haven't slept well, and I haven't really eaten well lately. Was it Searle levels of weird? The Rift Tracks Golden Corral thing was just... It was like watching a vlog of someone else doing like stuff we've done on the vlog. And people like, I don't know because I've never met them, but like have grown up watching. Because I watched Mystery Science Theater like as a child. And then the rest of my life. Vagabond says, yesterday was a busy day, so it makes sense you're not feeling great. That's true. I did bike yesterday, and Steven was like, maybe you should not have done that. Maybe you should have waited. I'm like, maybe. Instead, I went for 2 short walks today. What else happened yesterday? Nothing? It was a Wednesday. I read for a while. I went to Costco. Circle Now Squared said, Mal overdoing it? It's more likely than you think. True. Noah says, oh hey, mini canvas. Yeah, I showed this to Noah the other day, so he's seen it. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, because I don't feel like working on the big one today, not being super well. I thought that was for the best. And we have an 11-month resub from Noah. Thank you, Noah. Action Cat says, I've been getting back into reading again recently. Me too. I brought a handful of books over to Alex and Haley's, and I was like, oh yeah. I mean, I read all the time because I have different comics and stuff I follow, but like an actual book I haven't picked up in a while, like a physical book. Digital, yes. So what I'm going to be doing on top of this Grisaille is I'm going to be doing glazes. And I should probably grab my sketchbook so I can explain what that means. Big canvas, you did not move far enough away. Let's move you over there. Now, we did a glaze on big canvas, actually. Remember when I did this and tried to like darken up some of the sky? That's what we're doing. You can see it better here, I think, if I move this. No, we can put this here. It is wild going to baby canvas. I know, it is wild. So what I'm trying to do is, this is going to be my sky color, and it's going to be, oh god, that saturated. I'm trying to make it as transparent as I want it to be. And I'm realizing it's way more saturated than I wanted. So now we have to fix it. So we're going to be doing glazes on top of this. So basically I'm doing transparent washes on top, and it's going to fill in anywhere that's not black. And the gray part is going to just basically be dark version of whatever I put on top of it. And like I was saying earlier, normally this is done with solid grayscale and not just black and white. I mean, like I said, I kind of have a little bit of gray in here. Normally it's done solid gray, like the full range, and this is not. And this is just going to be the first layer. Normally when you do this, it's kind of like painting watercolors where you do a lot of different layers. and not just one, which is what I'm going to be attempting today. All right, I have blue, so I need orange. Because this is way too intense for what I want. We have an 11-month resub from Ryan B. Thank you. So what had happened was I woke up the other day and I thought, remember that technique that you've never actually tried before and you've always wanted to try? Why don't you do that? And so I decided to do that. And then I had the idea of doing something similar, but instead of doing it Grisaille, doing it with a color. But I didn't do that yet. I just had the idea. I was like, I should do that. Ooh, this went green. See how green that is compared? I don't want it to be that green. Which means there's too much yellow. So we're gonna add probably more blue. And I'm working with the high flow acrylic, which is like ink. So it's not super easy to mix with a palette knife. And I'm looking for something very transparent because this is going to be super light on the canvas, and that's what I want because I can always build up darker layers for deeper parts of the sky, and I can't subtract. Alright, let's see how this looks. That's closer. Because like we started with the phthalo and it was super intense and it's pretty, but I think it was too intense and this is closer, but I think I lost 100% of the intensity that I wanted. So we're gonna add more blue. And then we're gonna make it more transparent because it's getting a bit more opaque than I want it to be. We have an 11-month resub from Penguin Frog who says 11. We were just saying how wild it is. It's almost a year. Sorry you had a migraine, Samba Noir. They are not fun. I have gone through like 3 migraine meds now trying to find one that works. And I just got a new one and I haven't tried it yet. So I don't know if that one will work for me. I'm just thankful I have a med on standby. That's better. That's more saturated than this. Now I'm doubting myself. I'm like, do I want it more saturated? Like, do I want that? I think I do. Someone says, I take Imitrex. Imitrex gave me bad side effects. I didn't like it. The one I have now is a nasal spray. I just haven't tried it yet. Jacebook says, how are you and Steven doing so far? Steven has been asleep all day, which is good. He needed to be asleep. And I thought I was doing great, and then this evening I haven't felt as good as I did earlier. So I'm hoping it's just because I'm tired and overdid it yesterday. Has he eaten anything? Yeah, I brought him stuff earlier during lunchtime and he was eating when I went downstairs. Now I got blue on me. 11-month resub from Renee, who says, speaking of 11, you also hit 11. Alright, let's try this. Okay, I think that's a happy medium, it's just not transparent enough. Which is kind of a shame because I have a lot of it all over my palette. And this is almost empty. I had it sitting upside down, and then I went and set it right side up like a fool. Let's fix that. Alright, transparency check. Much better. Alright, we can do our first glaze layer. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this and look at my photo and look at where all of the blue is and start to build it in. Like I said, it's not unlike hand painting a black and white photo. I'm just doing like very transparent, clear parts on top of it, and I'm going to build that up. And honestly, one of the harder things is knowing exactly what's going to be like the leaf highlight colors that shine through and what is going to be sky. Fire Goddess says, is this mini Autumn Night? Yes, this is the twin of the other. I worked on this for fun this week, and because I'm still not super well, I decided that this is what I was going to be working on tonight. So like I said, this glaze layer that I'm doing is definitely not the last layer of paint. Like, this is not finishing this painting. Like, if I fill in all of the white spaces with the various colors I need to add, that does not make this done. This is a long process because you put down the glaze layer, you have to let it dry, and then you build it up with more and more and more. So like adding a little bit is fun, because like you look at that start to build. But as it continues, it takes a while, but it's a different technique. Actually, all of this over here is blue. Probably should have picked a bigger brush, it would have gone faster, but that's okay. Now, I probably should have thought about like pulling some of this out here for clouds, and I didn't. But the good thing is when you're doing this, you can kind of just like rub it out off the canvas, and it hasn't dried yet, so it comes up pretty cleanly. There, that was just enough. There, so like that's the blue. Minus a little bit over here that I forgot. We have an 11-month resub from Tiniest of Kitties. Thank you. I have a lot of blue left on my palette. That's okay, I can probably use it to make some of the green. Fire Goddess says, I know Brandon's doing better because he was on breakfast stream. Wondered how everyone else is doing. Like Vagabond says, Haley's okay. Paxlovid helped. She's still sick. Alex is doing better from what I know. I have not heard specifically, like, health-wise how he's doing. But well enough to, like... He streamed the other day. Man, I got blue all over my hand. Oh my god, what was I doing? Fix that. Alright, so that's what I wanted to do with that color. So there's a little bit of orange, a lot of green, and then the path is kind of like a gray-blue color. So let's start with that because I have all of this blue. And then we'll do the orange so I don't forget where the orange goes, and then the green will be last. So in order to make the path with the transparent, I'm taking Shading Gray, which is a transparent black already, and then I'm gonna mix a little bit of this blue into it. I also probably want to make this more transparent. That is not as cool of a blue I want, so we're going to throw some ultramarine into this. Because this is much cooler of a blue than the other one. Alright, so here's our gray for the path. Our blue gray. Now it's not that noticeable, but that's okay. This is just like the first layers. Next, I said I wanted to add the orange, so I have orange that I already mixed up from trying to tone the blue down. But it's quite opaque. We need to transparent that. I think it's a little too orange. It needs to be more yellow. And this tree sits kind of here. Where else is some of this? There's a little bit of this back in here. Hints of it in here. Some of it back there. And then we have some green. We have a few different greens. We have more of a yellow green and more of a blue green. So let's start with the blue green. It's not quite blue enough. That's better. So like this stuff over here is more blue-green. Nothing over here is quite that way. And I'm out of yellow. So if I start to bring in some of the green, that really helps. So like I'm making up a green, but it's a little too much. So I'm just like toning it down. And some of what I'm seeing here, like around this area, is just the glazing liquid, and when that dries, it'll dry a little bit more clear. And it's okay if it doesn't, because we're going to be going back over things later. We're just trying to give this some semblance of color, so that when we get to the actual part of this, I kind of have a little bit more to go off of. And it's going to give these leaves that are really sitting here in the highlight in the moonlight, they'll kind of pop more. I think that's a good start. So I'm really happy with the sky. Like, I think that turned out really good. The leaves definitely are gonna need more work. So let's talk about like what my plan is next, because I don't know if I'll stream more of this one. I'll probably go back to streaming big canvas next week when I'm well again. I'm gonna do a little bit more on things, but we're gonna talk about it while I let it dry for a second. And I'm gonna get some water. So things I'm gonna be working on next for this is I'm going to start bringing in colors. Similar to the big canvas where I sat there and like tapped in leaves, that's going to happen on this too. I'm not doing a full Grisaille because, like I said, normally it's like full black and white, like you took a black and white photo, except there's less black in it. Like you don't go all the way to the black range of value. So that when you do this glazing on top, it darkens some of those areas like nicely. I didn't do that on purpose because I wanted it to have some of these like stained glass effects. And then once it's dry, I'm going to start tapping in more leaves so they are more on the canvas and less stained glass looking. But I wanted to have some of that to bring in some really bright areas. That was my plan. So it's not a full Grisaille, but it's close. It's kind of the same idea. So like that's sort of my plan next, is to build in more leaves on top that are somewhere between these like stained glass looking leaves and solid silhouette black. And then working a bit more like on the path, because the path right now is not quite where I want it to be. So like that was kind of my thought of what I'm going to be working on. What I'm probably going to do next here is I'm probably going to start by filling in the stuff that's really far away back here that kind of sits in the moonlight a bit brighter, and then working my way towards the bigger leaves. We have an 11-month resub from Epic DXX. Thank you. Are we dry yet? Not completely. I also need to bring in some clouds for the sky a little bit maybe. Or maybe just some darker blues. Maybe that's what we'll work on, is we'll add some more darker blues today. Because the sky is kind of dry. So you can see it start to get its multiple layers, because it's going to be a lot of layers. Oh, that was way too much. Shoot. Whoops. Whoops. That's fine. We'll just add more transparency to it so it's more transparent. So yeah, now I have like a slightly darker blue. And my thought here is to just kind of darken up some areas where it needs to be even more. Because it's not everywhere. Because like I lightened up right in here. So we're going to kind of just add in a little bit so we have like the indication of clouds. Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Just coming to see what you were doing, how it was going.
Working on this.
Looks good.
Thank you.
The sky's coming out really good.
Well, that's the only thing I've done 2 layers on.
Yeah, I can see.
This process is a long process. I was talking about that.
It really is like watercolor, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. And like I'm not doing a full, like this technique I'm not doing in full because I did it slightly more like stained glassy over here. And I'm going to be like tapping in more leaves later. But that's a lot more.
Brandon and I put the stream up downstairs,
Uh-huh.
and the first thing I saw was like, oh man, the camera zoomed out.
Yeah, it's zoomed out for big canvas.
But
That's okay.
I don't want to move it.
You don't have
I'm
to.
not gonna move it. I'm just gonna leave it.
That's fine.
Anyway.
How you feeling?
So today is the best day I've had
Mm-hmm.
because I finally got enough sleep.
Okay.
That was the big thing, you know, because I got up around 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't. What was it? I woke up. So chat knows how my day was.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up this morning at 6:30 a.m. after having slept 5 hours, which was a new record. I had never slept more than 4 hours. So I was up at 6:30,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was trying to sleep longer, but I couldn't. So I got up. And I had some toast before breakfast stream,
Yes.
and then at like 8:30. At 8:30, I went back to sleep, and I didn't really fall asleep well until like a little bit after that. But I've been in the bedroom, like I've been in bed from 8:30 until 6 p.m.,
Mm-hmm.
which is like 10 and a half hours. And I think the troublesome thing is that even though I'm in bed, like you're not sleeping because like trying to I don't know. I am having a hard time sleeping, which is why I've been so exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
But today is the first day where, I was in the bedroom for 10 and a half hours. And while I certainly didn't sleep 10 and a half hours, I probably slept at least 5 or something. And that added into the 5 I got last night. I woke up and actually felt coherent, which is good. So, yeah. COVID seems to be different for everybody. Everyone has different experiences with it. As Brandon was talking about how he just slept forever. And I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I want to so desperately. My body is physically tired. My eyes feel super heavy. And I lay there and, there's been days since I've had this where I will lay in bed for 4 hours. And of those 4 hours, I sleep 1.
Yeah.
And I'm trying desperately to sleep. My body feels like it should be able to. And then it just it either doesn't happen or I'll sleep 20 minutes and wake up. It's, ugh. Anyway, but today is the best day so far. Having had enough sleep to actually function is great. So the worst part of this actually is the dizziness.
Yeah, because you've been dizzy.
I've been dizzy, and I don't like that. So I'm kind of hoping that stops. But I think it's probably because my inner ear is getting screwed with. That's my one concern. Facebook asked if dizziness is a symptom of COVID. I don't know that it's a symptom of COVID, but COVID can cause your ear to close up, right? For you would get an ear infection.
If you were congested.
Yeah, you get congestion in your ear. And if you get that, you can get an ear infection. And I'm very worried that I'm teetering on that because I have pressure in one of my ears and I'm like, oh, please, no. Not that. I can deal with a lot of things, but ear infections are the one thing I'm like, please, no, I do not want that.
Mm-hmm.
God, that sky looks great now.
Thank you. We have a 10-month resub from Starry Knox, 11 months from Shadowplay626, and 11 months from Dishnet. Thank you, 3.
Anyway, I have not sat at my computer in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally feel up to actually doing that.
Okay.
So I'm going to go, because everything that's come out,
the stuff you did before.
The stuff I did a while ago. So I'm going to go try and work a little bit.
Okay.
So, chat, you have to let me work. It's been 3 days. I know you're gonna have to trust me. I know my limits.
Yeah. I trust you.
But I think the fact that I have not been at my computer in 3 days is already telling enough. I've been recovering. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. What would Chaz say? Chaz knows. Chaz wants us to get well as soon as possible. Is Steven working a Chaz-approved activity? That's what it is. Anyway, let's do this. I'm going to run my Patreon ticker. Thank you to my patrons who support me over on patreon.com/MalMakes. If you're interested in supporting me and the perks that come with it, you can check out the link that Renee has for you. There is also a Discord where it's the $10 level, and you can join that and hang out there. Kita says, I'm pretty sure Steven will walk away if he feels overwhelmed. That's true. Because he's been in bed sleeping. He has not worked. When he says he has not worked, he has not. He's been trying to sleep and sleeping. Does this song come up every week? because it gets stuck in my head, and then I hear it for a week, and then I hear it again the next week. So I finished this guy while he was talking. I built up some different blue layers. Now you can really see where it is dark and light in the sky, so that is good. Like I said, I probably won't stream this canvas again. I'll probably just keep streaming big canvas next week when I feel well completely, because that's a lot of tapping to sit there and do. And I didn't feel like quite doing that today. This one is going to be done the same way from here on out, where I will be tapping in multiple leaves. I just wanted to make sure I really had some bright colors that shone through. And when I fill it in solid like I did on big canvas, it doesn't quite have the same effect. So I wanted to do these both different so we could compare and you could see them both side by side. But I did want to show off a little bit about how this was done so you could understand that. Renee says, just less tapping. Yes. There will be less tapping. It's also smaller. So I thought having the two together would be nice to see the difference in how that was accomplished. And plus I wanted to paint. Like I didn't quite feel like streaming, so I painted this. And then I streamed the rest of this, or some of this. No, it says tap the bricks. Exactly. But I'm going to be wrapping it there because I am tired. And I think that's enough painting for today for me. So do we have a raid message, and is anyone streaming? Your walk is done. I don't think I just finished a walk. Phone. Thomas says, did you wash and put the painting in the dryer? It shrank. This is the twin one, Thomas. Big canvas is over here. Still, big canvas. But they should look similar, as they are based on photos taken at the same time. But I'm very happy with this guy. Luca is streaming. Do we have a raid message for Luca? What is Luca doing? Playing Pokemon, was it? It went away. I have an ad for a second. Mini canvas? Yeah, we could use mini canvas. Pokemon Infinite Fusion. That's what Luca's playing. Okay. I can do this from my phone. I always forget. I just gotta remember how to do it. There we go. Mini canvas is nice? Yeah, mini canvas is nice. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I just wanted to make sure I did a little stream so I could work on something because I was enjoying painting and I was kind of sad I didn't get to this week when I switched Tuesday to today. But we are going to raid Lucagen and tell her mini canvas. There we go. Pokemon Infinite Fusion is wild. We do have to wait for timer to go down. But I do appreciate everyone being here, even though I'm not feeling great. Just for a little bit. Fossick says, make sure you rest up. I will rest up. I'm gonna go sit on the couch for a while and probably go to bed early-ish. Oh, the stream raid is slowly going. There will be a stream tomorrow evening. I'm not exactly sure what it will be and who will be on it. But there will be some sort of stream tomorrow night on Steven's channel at 8. Go rest and get plenty of fluids? Yeah, I've been going through so many water bottles. Chaos stream. It might be, who knows? We will have to figure that out tomorrow when we see how well everyone feels. But like, things haven't been terrible. It's just kind of like, now to wait and get well. Alright, there's the raid going. Thanks everyone for being here. Go tell Lucagen, tiny canvas, mini canvas, whatever it was.
Where do we go next? That's the thing.
Oh, that's so loud.
I'm not even sure where we should go. Are we getting raided?
You are. I am feeling better. I also have a 9-month resub from Anise. Thank you, Anise. All right, thanks everyone for being here. Sorry it's a shorter one, but I will see you tomorrow. I will probably see you tomorrow because I think I'm doing better than Steven at this point. For something over on his channel at 8. Have a good night.